Round 3, you're down and I'm bleeding. Been 6 months since we took a beating. Gloves up again despite our reason. I think we both lost the meaning. Don't stand up, haven't you had enough? We have to let this lie. We'll find each other in the next lifetime. I've got no gods to believe in. Why take the air that I'm breathing? I think we're missing the meaning. Don't stand up, haven't you had enough? We have to let this lie. We'll find each other in the next lifetime. You had enough. We have to let this life find each other in the next lifetime.
Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome this evening. As you can see here, we've started our broadcast off with some flashing lights and a lap of honor here, and that's to say goodbye to a friend, part of my real life racing family from my past. A good friend of mine lost his wife this weekend. We used to, myself and Bandit Zeke, who's on track tonight, used to be a part of that race team, and we decided that we would make some liveries to mock the last stock car design that he ran, and to say that we love him and that we're sorry for his loss. And I just want to thank you from the bottom of my heart to everybody from taking the time to take a moment of silence with us while we say goodbye. Thank you. Sit on Bandit Zeke for a moment, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much for taking that time with us. We really do appreciate and love everyone for all your support. This is for the Reimer family, to show that the sim community cares and we love you. And whether it's the real race family or sim community family, we stand together, we stand strong. And Bandit knew Margot just as much as I did. And he's going to be racing with a little bit of a heavy heart here tonight, but we've left pole position open for Margot to send her off to the pearly gates, ladies and gentlemen. Back for a pace car. So I do apologize, ladies and gentlemen, as we are having technical difficulties today. For some reason we cannot get the live broadcast to fire, so we've actually recorded everything that's happening here, and we're going to premiere it as a video as soon as we get the issue sorted out. So again, thank you very much everybody. We do appreciate everybody. We're just coming around our final corners here, ladies and gentlemen. An absolutely great job here by all the drivers. And for those of us who knew who Margot was, ladies and gentlemen, this was something that was a special request by myself. I told the guys once they get back across the start-finish line, throw some donuts in those beautiful Wild Thing race cars. And she doesn't want us to mourn. She doesn't want us to be sad, ladies and gentlemen. She wants us to enjoy life. She wants us to celebrate hers. So this is to say goodbye for now, ladies and gentlemen. We'll see you soon. So thanks everybody, we do appreciate it, and we're going to kick it over here. We're going to start getting through all our details. I love everybody so much. Thank you so much for being here. Alright, so here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Just 1 second here. Alright, so again, I do apologize for not being able to bring this to you live today. I don't know why it's not working. It's just not working. So, we're going to broadcast it. We're recording this live from GT45 Gaming's home. And we're just going to go over some details here for you. So, first of all, ladies and gentlemen, huge shout out to the designers of the league here. So massive shout out to DMJ Vroom Room, the proud presenters of the Choice of Weapon Season 2, Round 6. And this is 2.0 glitch they're calling this season because of the condition of the GT7 lobbies. This was to be on GT7 this season, but we ended up having to move it over to sports. So here we are. Round 6. We're over in Japan, ladies and gentlemen, and we are at Suzuka. And, well, we all know Suzuka, ladies and gentlemen. Suzuka can be absolutely a difficult racetrack, or it can be a really good, fun-flowing racetrack. Depends on how you want to look at it. So, we're just allowing all our drivers to have the opportunity to make sure that they can go back to their cars that they're opting to race with. And checking everybody's settings, making sure all the drivers, of course, are on track here. And fantastic. We've got an extremely full grid here today too, ladies and gentlemen. So this is really going to be a wild race. So this is round 6. The standings are uber close. From about 1st to 5th place, it's just a handful, 2 handfuls of points separating 1st to like 5th place currently. We don't have the standings to show to you guys here today, unfortunately. Alright, it looks like everybody is ready to go. We're just going to make sure before we go and kick everything off. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, so we are a little bit behind schedule. We're quite a bit behind schedule because of the lap of honor, but that is alright. That is definitely not why we're behind schedule, because your boy is having some technical difficulties. I'm not sure what's going on, so we're going to go ahead and quickly tick this guy off. Looks like all the drivers are ready. All the settings are set. So, just one moment, ladies and gentlemen. We're just going to kick this thing off here right now. Alright, so qualifying is underway, ladies and gentlemen. So while these guys get started in their qualifying run, we're going to go over the rest of the race details for you guys. Get you all caught up on what's going on here in round 6. So, round 6 at Suzuka, circuit length is 5.8 kilometers, 3.69 miles, ladies and gentlemen. It has 17 left and right hand turns. It is a real-world circuit. It appears in Gran Turismo 4, Gran Turismo 5 Prototype, Gran Turismo PSP 5, 6, Gran Turismo Sport, and 7. So Suzuka has been a staple of Gran Turismo for many years now. Fastest lap in real life is a 1:39.83 by Lewis Hamilton, Mercedes AMG F1, and selected other drivers are the Ferrari F40 with a 2:35, the Honda NSX-R with a 2:34, and the Mazda RX-7 with a 2:37.276. And again, sponsored by GT Omega Racing, Fanatec, and partners are LWR Design and DDR Racing. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm your host for the evening, GT45 Gaming. So, just a few more details to go over for you guys before we get to the action on the racetrack. The maximum and minimum tires required for the series are the racing hards to the racing softs. So the drivers have from racing hards, racing mediums, and racing softs to choose from. In this particular race, it is a racing hard mandatory, and the pit window is at the end of lap 3. Now again, those drivers are required to use those tires for one full circuit lap before they can get off those hard tires to meet that requirement. The tire wear is 6 times, the fuel depletion is 4 times, so that means these guys are doing 6 laps to every lap for tire wear and 4 laps to every lap for fuel consumption. It's a grid start with a false start check. Slipstream is real. Mechanical damage is heavy. Drivers have to be 100% on point. And Suzuka is a very difficult racetrack. Initial fuel is full tank. Driving aids only are allowed as ABS and traction control system. The grip is reduced. On-track edge is, of course, real. The default overtaking system. And we are here for a 40-minute endurance race, ladies and gentlemen. So let's get you guys and gals over to the action. And here we are. So we are in qualifying. We have spec out in front. This is going to be just the out lap here. So these guys are just getting those tires warmed up. They're just getting everything scrubbed in. You can see Spec's going to dive into pit lane here. You can see you can see Bar diving in. So you can see a few of the drivers have opted to pit and take some softer compounded tires. So Bandit's holding up the line there a little bit as he's trying to get back on track. Great looking RCZ livery there by ATV, who's opted to make that car change here this week. You see Ball coming into pit lane here as well. Ghost Viper's on the charge. So let's settle back in now as we have ATV and Bandit here side by side. You can see Bandit just backing out a little bit there. Again, we're just qualifying. These guys aren't racing, so these guys are just trying to maximize their time around the racetrack here. It's a great job by the two drivers there. We love the little picture of the cat on right in front of the rear fender there on ATV's car, ladies and gentlemen. So ATV is now going to be the first driver to come across on an official hot lap. So we still have 11:55 remaining in qualifying here, so we have plenty of laps still remaining, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get with it, shall we? This should be a fantastic race here today. Bandit's not too far behind there. He's looking pretty good there, and behind ATV as well. He's right on pace with him here. So this is a tough corner, this hairpin here. You really got to approach this the right way, or you just don't get it proper. Actually, you can see Bandit getting a little bit squirrely trying to get out on exit there, but does a really great job recovering that Porsche. And he's opting, of course, to drive that Porsche this week. So I believe that is all three cars in this series now for Bandit. But ATV leading the charge here in qualifying, so he's going to be the first driver to come across with an actual time to put down on the track here. So we'll have to see what he lays down here. Great exit there out of what is that, 85R, I believe that is, or something like that. 135R, I can't remember which one it is. And ATV coming around that final chicane here. That's a tricky little sector, and again, you want to maximize the curbing there to really get a good exit out of that chicane. We see ATV's going to come across here with a 2027. We've got Bandit here coming across the line. What's Bandit going to put down here? Bandit's going to put in a 2054. Making a little bit of a mistake. We got Superman with a 2072. We've got GVG Jake coming across the line 2 minutes flat. So Jake, that's an out lap on pit lane. So currently ATV is sitting pole with Bandit sitting in P2. We have Apex Superman sitting in P3. Now these are the only three drivers that have an official time put down here so far in qualifying, ladies and gentlemen. So we are cruising. Another thing too, ladies and gentlemen, of course, we're supporting MacMillan Cancer Support here with this broadcast, so there should be a donation button there, and if you don't see a donation button, then I do apologize, but if it is there, you are wanting to donate to MacMillan Cancer Support, you just hit the little pink bottle cap with the heart in the middle of it there, and it takes you directly to a secure link, directly to the foundation, and of course you follow the instructions from there to donate. It's 100% safe and secure, ladies and gentlemen, and we do appreciate all the donations that have come in, and I'm sure that will come in, of course, moving forward in the future. So we appreciate all of you. Thank you so much for being able to open up your hearts and your pocketbooks a little bit to help another family in need. It's what we're all about here in the sim racing community, and you guys are the driving force behind what we do. So we love you for it, we appreciate you for it, and huge shout out to MacMillan Cancer Support for what they do over there. Fantastic stuff. So he's now sitting in pole with ATV sitting in P2. We got Bandit sitting in P3. Superman sitting in P4. Now, Jake is not come across the line yet, but we are going to start seeing these names jumping around a little bit here, obviously, as all the drivers start to put in their official laps in the qualifying session here. So, Ghost Viper sitting back in P12. We see Super Ninja sitting back in P13 there. So Edom with a 202.1 on the track. That is currently fastest lap. But Jake just coming across there with a 158.9. So Jake showing some pace. Heathen is 3.2 seconds off that time here currently. But Sparky coming across the line, taking pole position from Jake with a 158.808, ladies and gentlemen. So already in qualifying, things are getting spicy. Badass taking P2 with a 158.866. And we got, it looked like Sparky there making a bit of a mistake. Vegas Paul sitting in P4, also with a 159.7. Jake just jumping into P4 ahead of Paul there. We got Nolander coming across in P6, and he's in the 159s as well, ladies and gentlemen. Heathen is down into 201 now. ATB making a mistake that lap there, or it's an out lap. Bandit improving by over a second there with a 204, so Bandit's starting to get into the rhythm here. Superman getting some fresh rubber there. LJ also not quite having the right lap he's looking for there. Ghost not quite having the perfect lap yet either. And Bar 27 has yet to have that premium lap. So, you can see most of the drivers still opting with the Porsche here. Some of our drivers have taken the Peugeot. We're not seeing any 4Cs on track here today, and that kind of surprises me. I feel like the 4C would be a good car here at Suzuka today. So, and again, ladies and gentlemen, we do appreciate everybody's support. Again, I apologize for the live broadcast not working. We tried to get it to go twice, and I'm having some form of, I don't know, I'm having an issue with Facebook, so I got to sort the issue out. But as soon as we get the issue sorted, we'll get this broadcast to you guys, and we'll just do it as a premiere video on Facebook. So we may schedule it for a few hours from now, so we can get everybody can watch and enjoy. So Spec 1 now up into P1 with a 158.7. So you can see how hungry that our leaders in the standings are. As Badass now comes across in first place with a 158.4. So these drivers are not giving each other an inch. They are absolutely challenging each other here for that pole position. And again, pole position here is worth a couple of points, ladies and gentlemen. So those championship points, especially with such a tight championship race as we have here in Season 2, vital points, very vital points. We see LJ here. He's coming across there now. He drops in with a 158.446. So he is just tucked right in behind Badass by 6/1 thousandths of a second, ladies and gentlemen. You heard me correctly. 6/1 thousandths of a second. Moving to LJ here. And he's now in P2. Spec 1 in P3. We got Sparky Boomman in P4. We got UG Jake in P5. Ghost Viper in P6. We got Vegas Paul in P7. We've got Nolander in P8. We've got Heathen in P9. We've got ATV in P10. We've got Bandit Zeke in P11. We got Superman in P12. And Bar sitting in the back here in P13, struggling to get a time in here. But our current pole sitter right now is Badass, and we still have 440 remaining in qualifying, ladies and gentlemen. So with that being said, there is still enough time for a couple more laps, or even 3 depending where you are on the racetrack. So if the drivers are going to pit to go for that one-shot hot lap with low fuel, it's going to be now. We're going to see these guys dive in right now if this is going to be their strategy. So we're going to see as Badass comes around here right now. He's going to absolutely do exactly what we just said. So we have LJ coming around here. He's just coming around this really long double left-hand corner, coming up to this long straightaway here. I can't remember what corner this is coming up, ladies and gentlemen. And we do suspect we're probably going to see LJ and Spec do the same thing, or they've just been saving those tires and haven't really put in their cooker a lot. Sparky coming across the line does not gain any positions. Alright, so back to our grid. We got Badass out. Now he's on fresh rubber. We got LJ coming in for fresh rubber. We got Spec. He's going to opt to stay out. Ghost coming across. What's Ghost going to do? He's going to come across in P3. So jumping ahead of Spec 1 there. As I believe Spec made a mistake into the final chicane there. So Sparky Boomman down into P5. We got Jake all the way down to the 6 here. We got Vegas Paul in P7. We got Nolander in P8. And Nolander's been looking really good here in the series this season as well. We got ATB up into P9. He says he really likes this racetrack. So we're hoping to see a pretty good race here from ATV. We got Heathen in P10, ladies and gentlemen. Superman from Apex Racing in P11. And you can see a lot of the guys opting to run that Porsche livery here today. We really, really do appreciate them. Not surprised to see Bandit running that, obviously. Again, this is personal for Bandit as well. So the cars are looking really great out on track. Gentlemen, keep it going. And we got Barr here now. Barr has yet to still to really get that great time he's been looking for. And you can see this is a difficult corner. It looks simple. It looks like Badass chalked that lap there. It looked like he was not going to get any better there. You can see that he's in ghost mode now, so he's just going to nurse that thing around the racetrack here. Maybe he's trying to use a little bit of fuel up in the car. We're just keeping an eye to see if anything changes here. We're just making sure everything's all good and solid and lovely and peachy and beautiful. GG Jake coming across in pole position. The first driver to hit 157 with a 157.6. So Jake coming in now, taking pole position. Badass coming out here. He's going to give one more crack at it here. This is going to be his last shot. Position from Jake. We got Super Ninja here. We got Ghost here. We got Spec coming around right now. Let's stick with Spec as he's coming around that final chicane. See him really eating up a lot of curb there. And like I said, you can really use the curbs here in that final chicane to your advantage here. Suzuka Spec moving up into P2 with a 157.94, ladies and gentlemen. These boys are flying tonight. Badass here. He's looking to improve. We got LJ coming around as well, sitting in P4 here. And LJ definitely looking to improve on that. Does not. Is he going to get it? Does not look like it. 204. So a little off pace there. But he's going to get that final lap as well. We got Ghost coming out. He's going to try and get that flyer, but I think he might be a little late. Bandit coming in with a 202.9. So Bandit looking quite good tonight here as well. Biggest ball coming in P7. We got Nolander still sitting P8. We got ATV in 9. We got Heathen in P10. We got Bandit in P11. We've got Apex Superman just behind there. Less than a tenth of a second behind Bandit, and Bar 27 here in P13 struggling a little bit here on Suzuka here today. Ooh, and Jake is flying, ladies and gentlemen. So, we're coming around our final laps here. We got 15 seconds remaining on the clock. Jake does have enough time to get back around here for another lap. You see ATV's going to, try to dive into pit lane there, and he's just missing a little bit. 157.8 from Jake. We got Badass coming around here right now. He's on his last flyer. 158 is going to move up into P3 there with that time. So, who's next closest? Looks like we got Spec coming into Kane here. Sparky sitting at 158.486, not improving on his position here in the grid. Spec 1 coming around this final corner. What's Spec going to do? He's going to take pole, ladies and gentlemen, in the last second. GVG Jake losing pole to Spec 1. With a 157.48 and Spec with a Thor. Let's see what LJ's got as he comes around this final corner. Is LJ up? Looking good. Not quite. 157.9. Going to take P3 from Badass there. Great job by LJ Super Ninja. Sparky is finished. We got Ghost Viper coming around right now. He is on his flyer. Looks like he's got a chalk lap here. He's just chilling. Got Bar coming around. What's Bar going to do? Bar moving up into P7. So Bar was just emptying some fuel in that tank there. So a little bit of strategy coming out of Bar. We got Vegas Paul on a flying lap. So let's stick with Paul here. Let's see if he can gain some time. He's only 0.5 of a second behind. Bar 27 here currently, ladies and gentlemen, as we have about a minute remaining for these drivers to get across that line to register their final laps here. So Vegas Paul coming around, getting a little bit sideways there, but not too bad. Just losing a small amount of time, and he's going to stay in 8th place. So Nolander in P9, Heathen in P10. You got Heathen in P11, we got Bandit in P12, Superman in P13. So there is our field. Starting pole position will be Rockefeller Racing Spec 1. Starting in P2 will be GVG Jake. Starting in P3 will be Rockefeller Racing's LJ Super Ninja. Apex Racing's Badass in P4. Sparky Boomman in P5. Ghost Viper 26 in P6. We got Bar 27 in P7. We got Vegas in P8. We got Nolander in P9. We've got ATV in P10. And again, Heathen in P11. Bandit starting in P12. He's looking good there. He's having a little bit of a struggle, but we'll see how he handles it once the guys gets the traffic in front here. So Superman rounding out our field here. I think we missed that screenshot, but that's alright. Gotta be a little bit quicker than that. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, so we are here for our race start, and with our pole sitter, Rockefeller Racing Spec 1, ladies and gentlemen. So here we go. You can see all the beautiful Wild Thing race cars on the racetrack here tonight. Drivers showing their support. Spec 1 on a mission here tonight. Can he two-peats back to back? We're about to find out. You can hear those drivers are revving. We're waiting for those lights to go green. And we're off. And you can see Spec ripping those tires up on that Porsche to try to get the best start he can. And they are off. So, are we going to survive turn 1 at Suzuka? Let us find out. LJ outside of Jake, 2x2. This is not easy to do with cold tires here, ladies and gentlemen. And it looks like everybody's going to get through here. Sparky trying to make the move on Bar. He's just going to hold P6. You see Bar just letting him go there. ATV in P8. Nolander in 9. Heathen in 10. Superman in 11. Bandit in 12. And Paul just having a little bit of a rough start there. He may have false started there. He's just a little bit behind the pack. So really unfortunate for Paul. Unfortunate race start there. But back to the front of our pack with Spec 1, ladies and gentlemen, and he is off. So this is what it's looking like behind him here right now. A whole lot of Wild Thing liveries up in behind the man. RR Spec 1, LJ, right up on his nose. Right behind LJ is Jake. Right behind Jake is Ghost Viper. And right behind Ghost Viper is Badass. And it's just nose to tail all the way down through P8, ladies and gentlemen. So here we go. Is anybody going to make a move here? Spec 1 looking very strong very early on in this first lap here. You can see he's doing everything he can to pull away, but LJ's like, mister, this ain't happening today, my friend. Great job by Spec 1 early on in the race here for the first lap. All the drivers really on point here today, ladies and gentlemen. That was a beautiful race start. Suzuka is very difficult to get around that first couple corners in, and that first sector on very cold race tires, and these drivers just put on a clinic for us week in and week out. Nolander up into P8, we got Heathen up into P9, ATV down to P10. And just behind these guys is Superman and Bandit in 11 and 12, and just behind them is Vegas Paul here in P13. So Vegas Paul playing a little bit of strategy potentially here, ladies and gentlemen. You can see he's not forcing an issue here right now. I think he thinks that these guys might maybe burn their cars out a little bit earlier, and then he's going to pounce a little later on in the stint. If that is the case, that could very well be a very good strategy here today. So let's see what happens, shall we? Moving through the field, our Spec 1 still leading the field off. We got LJ Super Ninja in P2, we got GVG Jake in P3, we've got Ghost Viper in P4, Badass in P5, we got Sparky in P6, we've got Bar in P7, we've got Nolander in P8, Heathen in P9, we've got Superman in P10, ladies and gentlemen, we've got ATV in P12, Bandit Zeke up into P11, and Vegas Paul in P13. So let's see what happened to ATV. We missed it. So ATB having an early on struggle here, but again, lots of racing left. 37 minutes remaining, ladies and gentlemen. So back to our race leader here. As you can see, this battle is just progressing here between our drivers. That's the one we're looking for. And this is kind of what it looks like from behind spec at the moment. He's got about a 6/10 of a second gap, so LJ still is in that slipstream, and you can see him really close up into the braking here. And you can see Jake is right there, Ghost Viper right there, also Badass just behind, and just off in the distance is Sparky Boomman there in P6, Bar just behind him as well. So starting to see a small amount of separation here, but again, are some of these cars potentially saving the race cars currently here, using some slipstream, allowing the driver up in front to punch the hole in the air. You let them do all the work, use their fuel, use up their tires. Let's see what Jake does here. Jake gonna go for the move. No, Jake backs out. You see Ghost Viper just lets them both settle into their positions here. Nobody's in a real big hurry to get the big move done here currently. You see some very strategic racing happening from our drivers here tonight in round 6. And this championship is heating up, ladies and gentlemen. So it is very, very close in the championship standings. It is still anybody's championship to take. And could very well potentially be anybody's championship to take right leading into round 10 this season, ladies and gentlemen. So expect to see some action. So this is kind of what Jake's dealing with, and Jake's been dealing with this a lot this series. He's been in that sandwich. He's been right there front running with these guys constantly, but never ultimately in the spot that he really would like to be in here. Jake likes to lead the race. He likes to lead the pace. So you see Ghost giving him a little bit of a bump there and try and get him caught up into this P2 driver LJ up in front. Let's see if Ghost tries to make the move here. Ghost is just taking a look, getting some fresh air in the front end of that Porsche. And Ghost is really good under braking. You can see him really make time up under braking here. And you can see Badass is doing much of the same thing behind Ghost as well. As Ghost is not battling with Jake, just sitting behind Jake, but potentially costing Ghost a little bit of time here. So is Ghost going to opt to make a move here, or is Ghost just going to sit behind? This is the big question. So as we look ahead of Jake here, P2 and P1 are only half a second ahead of him here, ladies and gentlemen. So, I mean, this race is far, 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 far from over, ladies and gentlemen. That is for sure. Get back to our TV crew, let them do the beautiful things that they do here in Gran Turismo Sport, bring us all the action that we can get here. So everybody's just playing nice here right now from P1, P2, P3, P4, P5. I mean, look at these guys. They are just nose to tail, ladies and gentlemen. We're moving up into P6 here with Sparky Boomman. We've got Bar in P7. We've got Nolander in P8. We've got Heaton in P9. We've got ATB in P10, ladies and gentlemen. We've got Vegas Paul in P11. We've got Superman in P12. Ooh, and Bandit making a little bit of a mistake there, so really unfortunate for Bandit. He's going to get himself sorted out and we'll get her back on track. This is a very tough racetrack, and we're part of it a ton of practice. And even no matter how much we practice on this racetrack, it's just so unforgiving. You can see there as these cars aren't even under braking or getting a little bit sideways on these drivers. So Spec 1 really leading the charge early on here, and you can tell that he's really tasting a championship this season. He's pushing hard this season for it. You can see his teammate LJ right there. No teammates in the series, I assure you. These two will have no love lost on this racetrack. When these two get the opportunity to fight for that position, they are going to battle for it. GBG Jake sitting here in P3. Ghost trying to make the move. Is Ghost going to be able to get the job done here? Finally on Jake. He's on the inside. Ooh, almost a little bit of contact between the two drivers. Really great job by the two drivers. And Ghost takes him on the outside coming into the next corner. So Ghost Viper getting the job done, ladies and gentlemen. Moving up into P3. That's close to long enough. There we go. So you can see Jake here, you see Ghost setting that up. Ghost is just waiting for him to just give him the room. So you see Ghost just tucked in here, and you see Jake's going to go nice and through here, and Ghost is going to take the opportunity. Jake's out a little bit wide, and Ghost is just going to put his nose on that inside line, make Jake take that outside line, which does give Jake the inside to the next corner here. but it also gives Jake a shorter line, so he had to slow up a little more to make that corner work there, and Ghost Viper getting the job done. So great move by Ghost Viper, ladies and gentlemen, to get up into P3. Spec 1 still leading the field. You see LJ Super Ninja and Ghost right there. P1, P2, and P3 are 0.3 of a second apart here, ladies and gentlemen. We move into P4, 0.6. We move into P5, 1.6 seconds from the leader. That is it. Sparky Boomman just behind these guys here in P6. Moving through our field, we got Nolander having a nice little healthy battle here with Heathen in P8 as well. Those cars are really looking fantastic on track here today, ladies and gentlemen. Much love to all our drivers. ATB here now moving up into P9. Vegas Paul all the way back up into P10 there after making some kind of mistake at the race start. I'm thinking a false start. Bar coming into pit lane. Of course, the pit window did open at the end of lap 3 there, so Bandit Zeke's just coming around here now. He should be able to get ahead of Bar here when he comes around. And we got Superman up into P11. So all the drivers doing their rhythms, man, getting their laps on, doing their thing. So we're going to keep kicking it, ladies and gentlemen. Here we go. RR Spec 1 in the lead. We have 31 minutes remaining in this race, ladies and gentlemen. We are only 1/4 of the way through this. And these drivers are not giving a millimeter on this racetrack tonight, as we have Ghost Viper now in ahead of LJ. So Ghost Viper getting the moves. He's getting the job done tonight. He's moving up into P2. LJ Super Ninja into P3, settles in behind Ghost. Jake settles in behind LJ in P4 with Badass in tow in P5. Getting a great exit there, so I should pull him right on that group. And you can see just in the distance the Sparky Boomman there in P6. We got Nolander and Heathen. These guys are battling. Let's get on board with Nolander. As Nolander is flying here, trying to keep Heathen behind. And you can see that corner is extremely tough, ladies and gentlemen. Heathen does have the run coming up to this corner. I believe this is 85R, I think this corner is called, if I'm not mistaken, ladies and gentlemen. But you can see Heathen opting to back off a little bit there. I don't think he wanted to make a mistake. You can really see him make up the time under braking there, ladies. Oh, and he just gets a little bit squirrely. Great job to recover it there. Just keeping it on the racetrack there. So Nolan are going to very comfortably take P6 up the road from Heathen, currently sitting in P7. So moving through our field, we have Vegas Paul here in P8, ladies and gentlemen. Superman in P9. Superman's looking very good here. We got Badass making a pit stop here. What looks to be in P10. We've got ATB also in pit lane. He's just getting some tires and fuel there. He's in P11. We got Bar 27 who just made a pit stop there. Now in P12, and Bandit Zeke, whoop, just getting on that AstroTurf, and that AstroTurf is bad news, ladies and gentlemen. You get outside the curbing here on Suzuka, and just on the throttle, just a tiny bit, and it will 100%, as you can see, Jake right there, oh, great jump recovery by Jake in 4th place behind the drivers here. As we're just saying that, Jake just shows what happens. Oh, and 3 wide coming around the hairpin. Ghost Viper making the move, ladies and gentlemen. Ghost Viper getting the job done, moving up into P1, RR Spec in P2, LJ in P3. What a fantastic job by Ghost Viper, ladies and gentlemen, to get the job done there, coming into the hairpin. Watch this move, ladies and gentlemen. Ghost Viper in P2, taking a look. Takes the move inside of Spec, gets a little bit wide. LJ taking a look as well, trying to follow Ghost through. Just wasn't able to get the job done there, settled back in behind Spec 1. Fantastic job by our race leader. So Ghost Viper now in the race lead, trying to get away from these guys in 2nd and 3rd in Spec 1 and Super Ninja. QG Jake in P4, ladies and gentlemen. We've got Sparky Boomman in P5. We've got Nolander in P6. We've got Heathen in P7. We've got Vegas Paul here in P8. We've got Badass in P9. We've got Superman in P10. ATB is in P11. We've got Bar in P12 and Bandit in P13 here. He's now coming around. He's having his race. He's doing his thing back there. He's putting his time. We love to see it, ladies and gentlemen. Ghost Viper coming around here, as you can see, these guys are coming up on a driver just coming out of potentially pit lane or Bandit there at the back of the pack. I'm not 100% sure. It is 13th driver Bandit Zeke that Ghost Viper Gaming is coming up on here. So our leaders are coming up on a car that's been a little struggle, had a little bit of a struggle here early on in the race. But Ghost Viper really building the time on Spec 1 here currently. As you can see, he's really working on pulling a gap. And I think in Ghost Viper's mind right here, I need to get around this guy and put this guy in between us here for a second so I can make some time up. You can see Bandit getting a little bit wide there, as you see Spec also getting a little bit of curbing there. You can see LJ getting around Bandit there as well. So Bandit making a bit of a mistake coming into that corner, but great job to get out of the way of the top 4 drivers here. We got Nolander here in P6. He's coming up as well. We got Badass in P7. We've got Vegas Paul in P8. Superman in P9, ladies and gentlemen. We've got ATV back in P10 here after his pit stop. We got Heathen playing a little bit of games over there, trying to get the car sorted out. We got Bar 27 coming around in P12. And again, Bandit in P13 here. Yeah, very tough track Suzuka is, ladies and gentlemen. Very tough to handle, very tough to manage. It's very easy to make mistakes here. So any one of these drivers at any given time on any corner of this racetrack could end up with a very similar fate here. So right now, Ghost Viper is in the lead. And he's got about a 9/10. He's just out of slipstream range of second place driver Spec 1 here currently. We see Jake making the move on LJ here, ladies and gentlemen. So we're going to mark that. Great job by Jake under braking to get the job done. So here we go. We got Jake coming in here. They're going to come around 85R or 95R. I can't remember which one it is. Something R anyway. And just taking the inside line in the slingshot there. You see LJ not fighting it too much there. And both drivers getting a little bit squirrely coming through that chicane there. But GG Jake now moving up into P3 there. So great job by Jake. Super Ninja P4. Sparky Boomman still right there in P5. He hasn't gone anywhere. We got Nolander up into P6 here as well. We've got Badass in P7. Vegas Paul on the road here in P8. We got Superman in P9. ATV here up into P10. He's in P11. Bar 27 in P12. And Bandit in P13. So Bar had a rough race last week as he disconnected there about 2/3 of the way through the race. So got it for Bar. We're hoping that he gets his full race in here today and gets himself some good juicy points, whether it be the top of the leaderboard or the bottom of the leaderboard. Points are points, ladies and gentlemen, and every point matters in a championship race. Current fastest lap holder is Badass with a 1:59.506, ladies and gentlemen. So we did see in qualifying, we've seen very low 1:57s in qualifying. So will we see that during race pace? It's hard to say. But 1:59.506 is a very, very quick time for race pace here, ladies and gentlemen. Ghost Viper still in the lead with Spec 1 chasing. We've got GG Jake in P3, LJ just behind in P4. And LJ hasn't really let those guys get away. Sparky right there as well. Sparky's just playing it safe, playing it smart. We got Nolander in P6 here. Apex Racing's Badass in P7. We got Vegas Paul here in P8. We got ATV in P9. Superman P10, ladies and gentlemen. We got Bar 27 here in P11. We got Heathen in P12. And Bandit just coming up here. We got a little bit of traffic coming up here. Bandit is just holding his line here to get around this tough corner. Ooh, he just dipped the grass, ladies and gentlemen. Suzuka is so vicious. Alright, Ghost Viper Gaming here, cruising in P1. Spec 1 in P2, ladies and gentlemen. And the car looking very styling today here from Spec. Changing up the scheme a little bit there on that car, really making that thing pop out today. We got Jake here in P3, so you know the guys at the paint booth have been very busy. As you can see, several race cars with the same livery here today. So the paint booth boys have been absolutely on overtime. We got Badass in P6, we got Vegas Paul here in P7. ATV in P8. Moving over to P9, ladies and gentlemen, is Superman. Sorry, ladies and gentlemen, just had a message come up. We just have to take a quick peek, but everything's okay. Nolander here in P10. Got Bar 27 in P11. We got Heathen in P12. And Bandit's just making his first pit stop here. So you can see one of the guys coming around here. So Bandit's just going to give him the line in the corner 1 there. Great job by Bandit. Qualifier 26 still in P1 and cruising. So I do suspect we're going to see these guys probably make a pit stop relatively soon here. Again, 6 times tire wear, ladies and gentlemen. Every lap that these drivers go around the racetrack is like 6 laps to that 1 lap in tire wear. So the tires have definitely got to be wearing a little thin on some of these Porsche RSRs here today. We got UG Jake still up into P3, LJ still right there, and Sparky Boomman's a little bit off these guys here, but not too much, only 3 seconds, and then we got a gap, and then we have Badass and Vegas Paul. These guys are kind of in no man's land right now, but again, not all the drivers have pit. So once the rest of the drivers do make that pit stop, of course you'll see these drivers start to bunch back up again as those gaps will start to close back up. So a lot of the gap we're seeing right now is just pit stop gap. Ghost Viper is in charge right now, just staying out of that slipstream range from Spec 1, so he doesn't need to worry about Spec 1 just coming in on him at the last second and making a big move into a corner there out of the slipstream or out of the slingshot, because he's just managing to keep Spec out of that slipstream range. But just as I say that, we see Spec get right back into it there. So Spec 1 now 6/10, so knocking 3/10 of a second off Ghost into that corner. You see Spec taking a really tight line there, getting a great exit. So he's going to take a little more of that time off of Ghost Viper in front here. You can see that live timer there in the top left, ladies and gentlemen, is just dribbling down. 6 to 5 to 4 to 3 to 3.5. Looks like they're about 4/10 of a second here. So Spec 1 is starting to close back up on Ghost Viper. Jake in P3. LJ in P4. Sparky in P5. Apex Badass is in P6. We got Vegas Paul here in P7, ladies and gentlemen. We got ATV in P8. Superman here is P9. Moving on down the list, we got Nolander in P10, picking up a half-second track limit penalty there. I think that's the first penalty we've seen today. Bar 27 here in P11. Heathen filling up his car here right now with some racing fuel. And Bandit in P13 here. You see a little bit of damage on the front end of that car, but nothing too major. So Ghost Viper coming into pit lane. LJ coming into pit lane. We got Jake coming into pit lane as well. Spec 1 opting to stay out. Interesting. Sparky Boomman now up into P2. 6 seconds behind our current leader Spec 1. We got Badass here in P3. Again, LJ in pit lane. We got Ghost Viper in pit lane. And we got Jake in pit lane. See Vegas Paul just coming across that finish line there. What's he going to grab for positions? He's got ATB in tow. So, looking like Vegas Paul and ATB both get ahead of Jake and LJ in the pits. Jake coming out in P7, LJ coming out in P8. We got Nolander here in P9. Superman coming in for his pit stop as we jump over to him there. Bar 27 in P11. We've seen him make a stop a little bit earlier on. We got Heathen here in P12, and we got Bandit in P13. So, pretty much all our drivers on track. We had one driver whose brake pedal snapped on him, his pedals are currently broken today. So that's why he's not on track. So we are missing Betcher, and that is why Betcher's missing. And of course, we're always missing Kilty. But of course, Kilty working away, you know, doing the adulting thing, ladies and gentlemen. We love you, Kilty. We miss you, buddy. Can't wait to see you back on track soon. So Spec 1 in the lead, gaining time on Sparky here. We got Sparky again up into P2. We got Badass in P3. So it's going to be interesting to see how the undercut strategy works compared to the overcut. How big of an overcut is Spec 1 and Sparky Boomman going to take on this field? These guys know that these guys are quick. And if you leave it out too long, then there's a good chance you're going to lose all that time. So we see Spec coming into pit lane right there. So just as I talk about it, we see Spec make the call. He knows that just as well as most racers do. If you're going to go for the overcut, you can't stretch that overcut any more than 2 laps. And even 2 laps typically is too far. So again, ladies and gentlemen, I do apologize for the broadcast not being live. We had some form of technical issue. We didn't want to delay the racers. And so we are just recording this here, of course, on the program, the software, so you guys get everything that's great about DMJ here. We're just going to have to upload it as a video as opposed to a live broadcast here this week. And I'll deal with Facebook when they give me heck for it. But that's okay. As they say, the show must go on. So we see Spec 1 coming out in P4 here. So, relatively short stops. Sparky Boomman still in P1. Badass is just behind. 4.8 seconds. He's got a 19-second on Ghost in P3, who, when those two stop, should assume the race lead again. But Spec 1 is all over the bumper, Ghost Viper here. It's Spec 1 making the move. You see Ghost getting wide. Whoa! Wow, what a save by Ghost Viper. You can see him getting past there by 2 more cars. You see another one coming up to speed here as Vegas Paul's coming in. And Ghost Viper back up to speed, so dropping down to P6. Very uncharacteristic mistake there from Ghost Viper. I'm not sure what happened there. Just got into those marbles and lost his footing there. So let's watch that as we see Spec coming up on Ghost here. Let's see what happens here. He's got nice tight entry and exit here. He's coming around. Everything's looking real good here. And oh yeah, you can see he just gets over that curb a little bit and gets into those marbles there. And when we say marbles, that's those little chunks of rubber you see on the track. Does a great job to keep it out of harm's way, keep the guy out from getting out of the way, and also keeping it from damage by the looks of it, ladies and gentlemen. And the other 2 drivers, huge kudos to ATB and Jake for getting around Ghost Viper as he was coming back on the racetrack there. That could have been a scary moment for those drivers, but very well done to all the drivers on track there. Big mistake by Ghost Viper dropping down 2 positions there. Sparky Boomman now coming into pit lane, so we're going to see Badass assume the race lead here. Sparky Boomman in P2, coming into pit lane as we see here right now. We already see Spec 1 grabbing that position off Sparky. We see Jake coming around. He will also get that spot. ATB just behind. LJ right there in P5. Ghost Viper in P6. So the usual suspects are sitting there battling for those front positions. Nolander in P7 having a fantastic race as well. Sparky coming out in P7, so Nolander coming back out in behind Sparky, but right there you can see Sparky. So Nolander in P8. Vegas now making his pit stop here. Where is he going to come out? We got Barr coming around the final chicane here right now. So let's see if Barr grabs that position from Vegas Paul here in P9, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, he's getting that little kinds of sideways around that curbing. And let me tell you, that chicane is gnarly. You see him with some damage on that front right, front left as well, ladies and gentlemen. So Vegas Paul will stay out ahead of Barr. You can see him just getting out of pit lane ahead there, but Barr is up to speed and Vegas Paul is not yet. So Barr might get a good run through T1 and T2 here on Vegas Paul, and Paul is also on cold tires. Superman in P11 with Heathen right there in P12, and Bandit here too as well in P13. So all our drivers still here and still putting in their time, putting in their licks. These guys are just absolutely racers. They love to drive, they love to race, they love to send them cars around the racetrack. So our current race leader is Badass. So interesting, we see some different strategies coming from several of the different drivers. Badass really stretching the stint out here. I think he's going to try and open up this gap as much as he can, and he's going to take pit lane right now. He doesn't want to lose any more time to the race leader, Spec 1, who of course will be the race leader once he comes around this sector here. So Spec 1 coming around the final chicane here right now should grab that position from Badass as Badass is making a stop there. Now, Badass may have stopped early on in the race. I do believe he did. I can't quite remember, but you can see he's on 1% fuel there. And Spec's definitely going to come around. Jake's definitely going to come around and grab that position on Badass. We see LJ now coming up the start-finish line here as well. Ghost Viper's coming up. So Ghost Viper's not too far behind these guys here. You can see he didn't even scratch the paint
on that Porsche after that little bit of an incident there coming out of the S's here on Suzuka. He just got a little bit deep and into the marbles and just got that car out of sorts. Did a really great job of recovering. We got Nolander here in P7. We got ATB now coming in for his second stop of the race. We got Vegas Paul here in P9. We got Barr in P10. My bad, Barr. We're just jumping past you here. So Barr recovering fairly well now. Superman here in P11. We got Heathen in P12 and Bandit in P13 still, and he's doing quite well here as well. Getting a little bit deep coming around that hairpin there, but he's putting it in there. He's putting in the work, ladies and gentlemen. Spec 1, our current race leader, with 2.8 seconds left on the clock. So, are these drivers gonna have to stop? Again, it seems like a lot of these drivers have set themselves up for a one-stop race here. So, going to be interesting to see how it all settles out. We'll turn the information over to you guys with about 8 minutes remaining in the race. And I guess really we can have that information on for you since this is actually being a live broadcast. But for the sake of making it look like a live broadcast, we're going to turn it on with about 8 minutes remaining in the race, ladies and gentlemen. Sparky Boomman here in P5. We got Badass in P6. We got Nolander in P7. We got ATV here in P8. Vegas Paul in P9. We got Bar 27 here in P10. So the drivers all looking real good here. Superman in P11. Ethan in P12. Bandit making a pit stop here. You can see him still on that hard tire. But our current race leader is Spec 1. So let's jump on board with our current race leader here and do a flying lap with Spec 1 as he goes around Suzuka, ladies and gentlemen. I'll let you enjoy the sound of the racetrack. And there we have it, ladies and gentlemen, an onboard lap with our current race leader, RR Spec 1. And we've been seeing RR Spec 1 in a lot of lap guides around the racetracks here in the GMJ series this season. He just seems to be always there when we're ready to do our onboard lap. So LJ Super Ninja here in P3 with GG Jake behind Spec here in P2. And you can see it's about a 2.7 second gap between these two drivers. LJ and Jake is about 5 seconds. Sparky's only 2 seconds behind LJ now up in P4. We got Badass here in P5. Ghost Viper is in P6. We see Nolander now coming in for a pit stop as well. See him, he is needing fuel there. So ATV up into P8. Vegas Paul in P9. We got Superman up into P10. We've got Bar now down to P11. We got Heathen in P12 and Bandit in P13. So all the drivers still on track on fantastic races, doing a great job here, ladies and gentlemen. And again, this is presented by DMJ Vroom Room, ladies and gentlemen. This is DMJ Vroom Room's Choice of Weapons, Season 2, Round 6 here. I am your host, GT45 Gaming, and of course, all the proud partners and sponsors of this amazing series are LWR Designs, DDR Racing, GT Omega, and Fanatec. And of course, ladies and gentlemen, like every broadcast, we are supporting MacMillan Cancer Support with the DMJ broadcast here during this series, all series long. So for those of you that have donated or are planning on donating in the future or with this broadcast, thank you. We appreciate you. We love you. Thank you for your support. And a huge shout out to MacMillan Cancer Support. Obviously, what they do over there is amazing to help families in need. And because of the amazing viewers and people like yourselves, you keep the dream going for MacMillan Cancer Support with all these donations. So much love, everybody. We appreciate you. We can see a battle here now between Sparky and LJ, so we're going to jump on board with Sparky here as this battle ensues. So Sparky is in slip here. You can really see him getting around, and LJ is just not going to stand a chance here at defending against this, as Sparky just got a really great run through that final corner there. And LJ is going to have to just give that position up there. So Sparky Boomman up into P3. I assure you that will not be the end of LJ Super Ninja in this battle yet. So moving back through our field, we got Spec 1 in P1, we got Jake in P2, we got Sparky in P3, we got LJ in P4, we've got Badass in P5, Ghost Viper in P6, we got ATB in P7, we've got Nolander in P8, we got Vegas Paul in P9, we've got Apex the Superman in P10, we got Bar in P11, we got Heathen in P12, and Bandit in P13. So, 6 minutes remaining. I promised you guys information. Here we have it, ladies and gentlemen. So, Spec 1 going from hard to medium compounded tires, going for the one-stop race here, and again 2.7 second lead on GVG Jake here in P2, who is on the soft tire. So judging by what we're seeing here, I don't know if Jake's got the tire to reel Spec 1 in or not. I guess we're about to find out. Sparky Boomman here in P3 on some pretty good soft tires here, so if anybody can make a charge here, it might be Sparky Boomman, but he is running out of time. He's going to have to start to make that charge. And he's sitting in P3. We got Badass now getting ahead of LJ Super Ninja as well there in P4. So Badass grabbing another position here, and he's on that soft tire as well. We got LJ here. LJ's on the medium tire, so he's opting to go with a very similar strategy as his teammate there. But his tires are a little worse for wear here than Spec 1's up in front. We got Ghost Viper here, who's on the racing hard tire to finish the race off with her. They look fantastic. They're just scrubbed in, so he should be flying around this track here on those tires. ATB here in P7 is also on that racing soft tire. You can see Nolander starting to on ATB here in P8. So Nolander here in P8, and his tires look fantastic. We did see him make a late pit stop there. We got Vegas Paul here in P9. His tires, he's on those softs as well. We got Bar 27 in P10. He's also on the soft tire. We got Superman in P11. He's on the hard. Heathen in P12 is also on that soft tire. Very fresh soft tires. We got Bandit on the hard tire here as well. So I think Bandit might have started on the soft tire here today, or he's just opting to run the hard tire all race long. And hey, credit to him, man, because that's not an easy task to do, ladies and gentlemen. Those tires are very difficult to drive on here in GT Sport. We see Jake getting really wide there, coming out of the corner, getting into that artificial turf there on the side of the curbing. So you see him getting kind of all out of sorts there. But he is trying to do everything he can to reel in our current race leader, Spec 1, who is looking to two-peat here tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Sparky Boomman in P3, and he might be able to make a charge here on Jake now, as Jake's tires are just chewing away. Badass in P4, trying to make the charge up into P3. So now you see these drivers are pushing. They see the clock. They know time is against them here. LJ is in P5, and unfortunately for LJ, just doesn't have the tire to force the issue there. Ghost Viper in P6 behind LJ. So Ghost Viper chasing LJ. ATB in P7 with Nolander chasing him down. Nolander does have the fresher tires here, so Nolander might be able to get the job done on ATB. So we do have some battles developing here at the end of the race. We got Vegas Paul here in P9. We got Barr in P10. We see Superman making a pit stop here. He's coming in for probably some fuel, just a little splash most likely, or some new tires. We got Heathen in P12. Bandit is in P13. We can see him just getting a blue flag waved here. And he's actually just going to opt to go completely wide, just get right out of these guys' way here. He doesn't want to interfere with any potential battles that might be coming up on the back of him there. That was definitely an intentional wide there to allow Barr to get past. But Spec 1 in command of this race here. 2:42 remaining, ladies and gentlemen. 3.9 second lead on second place driver GVG Jake, who is our defending champion here after season 1. So in second place, having a good race, Sparky Boomman in P3, tied for that championship lead if I'm not mistaken with GVG Jake. Apex Badass in P4, looking for a good finish here today, as well as LJ Super Ninja. Ghost Viper in P6, we keep skipping the man. There is the man, Mr. Ghost Viper, the man, the myth, the legend himself, ladies and gentlemen, on track in P6. Having a bit of a mistake there and just never been able to recover from it since. Nolander in P7 with ATB now in behind, so Nolander getting the job done on ATB. P7 for Nolander, ATB in P8, but it doesn't look like this battle is quite done yet, as ATB looks like he's going to respond there. P9 for Vegas Paul, 10 for Bar 27. Superman in P11, you can see he's getting the wave flag, the blue flag wave. He's in there just getting passed by Ghost Viper in P12. And Bandit Zeke here in P13. So let's get to our race leaders. 1.5 minutes remaining, ladies and gentlemen. This will be the penultimate lap for these drivers, and some of these drivers, it will be their final lap. So here we go. Spec 1 looking like he's in a pretty commanding lead here, and coming around that final chicane for the second last time here tonight. Gonna get around this final corner, cross that start finish line one more time here. White flag, ladies and gentlemen, final lap. GVG Jake coming just behind, pushing, trying to catch up. Final lap for Jake. Sparky Boomman coming across. Final lap for Bar Sparky Apex in tow. He is right there, P4. Final lap for Badass as well. LJ and Ghost coming across here. P5 and P6 will also be on their final laps now as they cross the finish line. And we see just behind. Oh, that's even behind Ghost there. We see Nolander coming. Is Nolander going to get across that finish line in time? He should. Just gonna stick with Nolander here. Nolander Gaming is live on Facebook, ladies and gentlemen, so make sure you guys go show the love. If he's not live, still go show the love, show the man, throw him a like, throw him a share up, throw him a follow. And he's on his final lap, ladies and gentlemen. ATV coming across. He's also gonna get another lap here. Is Vegas Paul gonna have enough time to get a final lap here? He could be the last driver to get this final lap. We don't want to miss our race leader coming across the start finish line here. So we do need to get through our field. Vegas will get a final lap. I don't think Bar 27 is going to make it in time. So back to the race lead. Where is Spec? Spec is coming around into the hairpin here right now. All right, let's get to Bar. As Bar is going to come around, he's going to be the first driver to finish here tonight. P10 finish for Bar, so great job, Bar. He got in, he got his points in here tonight, and he made sure of it, so great job there. And back onto our race leader, ladies and gentlemen. And Spec 1 with a 6-second gap on P2 driver GVG Jake. So Spec 1 on the hunt for a championship, ladies and gentlemen, and showing that he wants it. He is coming around the final last 3 corners, 1 to go, and round 6 champion, ladies and gentlemen, Rockefeller Racing, Spec 1, 2 in a row. Congratulations, Spec 1. GVG Jake coming around in P2, gonna get a great P2. Sparky and Badass at the line, 3rd. Sparky and Badass 4th. Great job by those 2 drivers, really making something out of that race at the end. LJ coming around here right now. Oh, he's gonna make a mistake. Gets it off the wall, but he's still gonna get across that line in P5. A bit of a rough finish there for him. We got Ghost Viper in P6. We got Superman coming around here. P11 and P12 there, I believe. We have Nolander Gaming coming around here now as well, ladies and gentlemen. And again, another Facebook streamer, great dude, man. You gotta go check him out. Go say hi. Tell him GT45 Gaming sent you. And seriously, man, seriously awesome dude to hang out with. And great race car driver and great Call of Duty player as well. So P7 for Nolander. ATB with a very strong P8 finish here tonight. And Vegas Paul coming around here for the last driver to finish here tonight in P9. So congratulations to all our drivers, ladies and gentlemen, on track. Every driver finished today. We didn't have any mechanical failures from our drivers today. Fantastic stuff. So there we go. Race results, ladies and gentlemen. We're just going to take that. We got to get rid of that. We're going to take that. Bada bing, bada boom. And congratulations to Spec 1. So we're going to save replay. So just bear with, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to flip you over to the detail screen one more time just for a moment while we get ready for podium interviews. So we do have podium interviews still. So just bear with. Don't go anywhere, ladies and gentlemen, as they are coming. I'm just letting these guys know we're going to set the next lobby settings. Ooh, I got a keyboard. Why am I doing this the hard way? Alright, so our race results, ladies and gentlemen, of course, unofficial. And we're just going to flip you back over to this beauty right here. So unofficially, Rockefeller Racing Spec 1 with the race win. UG Jake in P2, Sparky Boomman in P3, Badass in P4, Arla, LJ Super Ninja from Rockefeller Racing in P5. We got Ghost Viper Gaming's Ghost Viper himself in P6. Nolander in P7, ATB in P8, Vegas Paul in P9, Bar 27 in P10, Superman in P11, Heathen in P12, and Bandit in P13. So we're just going to take some pictures here, ladies and gentlemen, so bear with for one moment as we need to have the evidence. And Jake with fastest lap on track tonight with a 158.592, ladies and gentlemen. So really great job by all our drivers there. So we are just going to give these guys next week's track. Doot, 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 doot. You see it first, ladies and gentlemen. Dragon Trail Seaside. 40-minute race with the typical qualifier. And we're going to put the Group 3 setting back on because we don't need the pace car next week, hopefully. And we're going to save that setting. Hold on, we're not going to save that setting. We're going to change a couple things. And then we're going to save that setting. Check, check, check. Save setting. Overwrite. Yes, yes. Boom. Alright, ladies and gentlemen. So, we are going to kick over to the podium interviews. Let's get some. Alright. So, 1 second. Let me do a little muty here for a momento. Alright, so we gotta get to the chat. And you guys can see that on the bottom left here what we're doing. We're just going into our driver chat. There we go. Alright, so we're gonna lose audio just for a moment, ladies and gentlemen. I'll be with you in 1 minute.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, so we are back with the drivers and another fantastic round of racing here in DMJ for Drivers Choice of Weapon Season 2.0 glitch. That's right, ladies and gentlemen, 2.0 glitch, because the GT7 lobbies were so glitched we had to come back to GT Sport for Season 2. So, third place finisher tonight, ladies and gentlemen, is Sparky Boomman, and he looked like he was just kind of chilling there in the front of the mid pack very early on the race, and looked like he wasn't forcing an issue anything too much. He was just playing a smart, very calculated race, and ending up with a P3 finish at the end of the day. So congratulations, Sparky, and talk us through how the race went for you today. Is he there? Maybe he's not there.
Sparky, where you at, bro?
Oh no, I was muted.
You're good.
Okay.
You're good.
All right. So, yeah. First off, my condolences. Sorry for the loss. Appreciate you putting on a race today and supplying deliveries and stuff. That's awesome. In terms of the race, Badass and I did some testing about a week ago, and it's kind of a coin toss between the two-stop or the one-stop. Technically, a two-stop was faster. At least that's what my math showed, but it was just a bit risky trying to get by people. You had to get by a lot of people after your first stop, so I opted to do the one stop. And yeah, like you said, I just sort of hung back. I sort of lost touch with the front group and lost the slipstream, so I figured I'm not going to push and waste fuel. I knew I was going to have to do 12 or 13 laps on the hards if I wanted to one stop, and just went with it.
Absolutely, and I mean, at the end of the day, again, on that podium there, it's just the lower step of the podium, but still podium points for, again, that championship lead that I believe you're tied with GVG Jake. So, super tight in the standings here coming into round 6. So, obviously, when you guys are preparing for these races now, week in, week out, knowing that the standings are within 2 points between drivers from about 1st to 6th place, what's going through your mind? Are you thinking about that while you're on the racetrack, or are you just so hyper focused on what's happening in front of you?
No, I'm definitely thinking about the point gap. I don't get stressed out if LJ or Spec get wins. I'm just trying to stay as close as I can to Jake at this point, because we're the closest in points. It's difficult though, because he either gets pole or he gets fastest lap, and that's an extra 2 points every race. So I thought about trying to go for the extra 5 points by switching my cars, but I really don't like the other ones, and if I switch and then I have a bad race, the whole thing was pointless, right? So yeah, I am trying to be a little bit tactical about it, but at the end of the day, sometimes you just got to get your head down and try and get a good result.
Absolutely, and well said. And again, Sparky Boomman, as we've said in previous broadcasts, ladies and gentlemen, he's a very strategic race car driver. He comes in, he has a plan, and the only time you ever see him vary from that plan is, of course, situational. Things happen on the racetrack, and sometimes you have to make that adjustment on the fly. Did you stick to your strategy today?
I did. Well, I sort of wanted to see what the front of the pack was doing, because, like I said, technically the two-stop was about 10 seconds faster, but that's if you had hot laps every single time you were lapping, and I know that doesn't really happen in a real race. And so the other night when we tested it, it was really challenging to put in consistent, perfect laps. And even this race, I had 2 separate laps where either I ran into traffic or I went off the road altogether and lost a second or 2. So that stuff happens, and I thought, okay, I'm not going to risk it. It's a tight track. I'll just do the one stop and play it safe.
Awesome. Well, and again, man, huge congratulations. Another great race by you, and you're looking really strong for a run at that championship here this season. So we look forward to see what you got in the final 4 rounds of the season here. And shoutouts.
Yeah, of course. Thanks to you for the broadcast, all the sponsors. I can't think of them off the top of my head because I don't have the little car in front of me. GT Omega, that Wolf thing.
LWR
yeah.
Designs, ladies and gentlemen.
LWR Designs, yeah, that one. DMJ for putting on the league. Yeah, thanks.
Awesome. And again, great race, Sparky, and look forward to see what you're going to bring in Dragon Trail next week. The Dash Chicane and Looms, ladies and gentlemen.
Yep.
All right, we do not have our second place driver. Again, the second place driver is based out of the United Kingdom, ladies and gentlemen. Now you ask, well, why is he racing in a North American series? Because he actually, this is the time that he can race. So he's jumped into the DMJ series over here in North America because he's unable to do the DMJ series in the United Kingdom. Unfortunately, it is super late where he is, so he's opted out of the podium interview here tonight. But massive congratulations to Jake. He did a fantastic job, and we'll see him next week. And I know that Jake's not going to be happy with that P2. We know he wanted that P1, so watch for Jake next week, ladies and gentlemen. And our race winner tonight, ladies and gentlemen, two-peat. Two races in a row, back-to-back. Rockefeller Racing Spec 1. Congratulations, man. Great race. You came what looked to be very well prepared here this evening. And it looked like you had your strategy in your mind, and you stuck to it. So was that the case to start off with?
Yep. The only question I had is whether to do the mediums or to start on the hards. So, being out front, I knew that, yeah, I wanted to do the hards without a doubt. And that, obviously, we have to pick that first before we go in, so it was a bit of a gamble. I didn't really know where I was going to qualify, and once I got out front, I was like, good, because I knew Suzuka was as wide as it seems at times, and as fast-paced as it is, it's very, very difficult to pass guys. So I tried using that to my advantage by, in a professional and ethical way, holding guys up, if that makes sense.
Absolutely. And you did see some pressure from Jake and LJ very early on in the race, but they weren't really pressing the issue too much. It looked like that the top three were just going to try and kind of run away from the rest of the pack, and then Ghost Viper and Badass and Sparky got into the mix, and Ghost Viper made a nice pass to get first place from you there at about the 10-12 minute mark of the race. And then you made your stop and came right out on the back end of Ghost Viper, and you were just about to have that battle, and he went a little bit wide there. At that moment, did you know that you had a really good shot at taking the race win?
Yeah, not so much the win, but at that time and place, I knew, just coming out of the pits, I knew that eventually I would be able to just run him down, but I wasn't expecting him. Super gutted for him, though, for going wide right there, but yeah, I was not expecting him to slide off the way that he did.
And he did a really great job actually at recovering that race car. He actually managed to keep that
Yeah,
car
he did.
completely out of the wall. And
Yep.
and two drivers, I believe it was Jake and ATV, made a beautiful evasive maneuver to get around there, and everybody managed to get through there pretty safe and sound. So it was a really great job by Ghost there to recover that car and keep it out of trouble as well, and still be able to continue on with his race as well. But you looked really good out there. I mean, your pace was very consistent. And of course stealing that pole position right at the last lap in qualifying as well, so bonus points for you there. But Jake does get those bonus points for fastest lap, and I do know from speaking with you outside the races that you really want this championship. So how are you feeling moving into round 7 with only 4 rounds left?
Oh, really, really good. I just need a lot of things to go my way, if that makes sense, moving forward. So that missing that one race really, really dampened making it not easy, but easier to have that shot. So
Absolutely. You did hear from Spec, he did miss one race this season, so not picking up any championship points on that race. So a race behind these guys in the standings, but still sitting in good shape and back-to-back race wins and, of course, pole position points here tonight. So massive congratulations. You're the first driver to go back-to-back this season, so there is that. And do we see a three-peat at Dragon Trail? How do you feel about Dragon Trail?
you put me in the Supra, and I guarantee you one, but I don't know so much about the Porsche, so we'll see.
All right. And, of course, your shout-outs.
Of course, GT45 Gaming, Rockefeller Racing, DMJ, and just all the sponsors that are associated with this awesome series.
Awesome. Well, congratulations, man. You're definitely making your run for the top of that podium here with 2 back-to-back wins, and definitely cannot wait to see what you have for us next week. So, congratulations, and good luck moving into next week.
All right, thank you.
All right, cheers, boys. You guys are free to hear me. Okay, now you can hear me. What's up, everybody? So, yeah, a little complicating there. A little complicating for the race this week. Now, this race was ran last night on schedule as per normal, ladies and gentlemen, and I just had some massive, I don't know, software malfunction between my software and Facebook. So, we just came up with a plan B. We decided just to continue with the program as scheduled without it being live broadcast. We hit that record button on the software. We recorded the whole deal. So everything you guys just saw was exactly at the moment as it happened. My reactions were exactly as I saw it for the first time. And these guys did a fantastic job. It was a great race. Week in and week out, the drivers here at DMJ Vroom Room, choice of weapons, Season 2.0 glitch, just continue to provide great racing, ladies and gentlemen. They make clean passes, they practice really hard, they strategize together, they communicate together, they work together, and on the racetrack they compete, but they compete with a ton of respect. And I strongly believe that DMJ Vroom Room is the fastest growing and hottest series in North America right now when it comes to Gran Turismo racing, ladies and gentlemen. And I'm sure there's many that'll argue other words out there, but just the drivers on track, the way they represent themselves, and just the racing that they provide week in and week out for you guys, the viewers, the fans, the people that keep the driving force behind DMJ Vroom Room, excited. And when the drivers are excited, this is what we get, ladies and gentlemen. We get a blazing fast show. So, much love to everybody. Thanks for everybody who hung out during the broadcast. I hope you all enjoyed the race. For those of you that are going to tune in after the fact, again, hope you enjoyed it. The MacMillan Cancer Support button is active even on this broadcast, ladies and gentlemen. So if you are going to donate, you can do so securely through that donation link. And we do appreciate you if you have chosen to do so. I'm just really glad that we're able to get this broadcast out to everybody. I know it's a little bit different. Again, streaming is a lot about thinking on the fly, making quick snap decisions, and not panicking. And I don't think that the broadcast would have come out as good tonight as a replay broadcast as what we just saw here tonight via my live record video yesterday. So I am GT45 Gaming. I am the owner of this page. I also own the content that was provided on the stream today, and own the rights to the video as well, ladies and gentlemen. So just to clarify that for Facebook's algorithm. So there should be no issue there. I really appreciate everybody coming in. I mean, we're going to do some real shoutouts for the alerts now that I got you guys live. I'm on camera. We're talking here. So we got LJ coming in right at the beginning, man, with a thumbs up. Joe Mercier, my admin, Top Dog, Bandit Zeke on track, man. Big time like and share like he does every single day. Much love to Joe. We got Eduardo came in with the thumbs up. Paulie B, the legend in chat, man, always coming in with that big fat heart, day in and day out. Anthony Saloom, all the way from Australia, coming in with the thumbs up. We got Doug coming all the way from United Kingdom with the thumbs up. We have Cody B coming in with the thumbs up and the 30 star bomb today, shouting out all the drivers from the community today. Massive love to Cody B, and Nick Brewster coming in with that massive thumbs up as well. We also had Tattooed Free come into the YouTube channel with the likes and all the love over on YouTube as well. So we did see you in both chats. We saw everything. We were hanging out in both the chats. It was kind of a little different. It was a lot of fun, actually, just to sit back and actually watch and listen to my own broadcast and hang out with you guys, the racers, the viewers, the fans, and it was fun. It was fun. So Nolander coming in with the like, double like, and the share. My guy, much love. Oh, and he just ended his stream. I was going to rate him too. I took too long. Full send on Dragon Trail, says Paulie B. Great series, this series. I thought I was absolutely blessed last season to have the amazing racing and the action that we had for 10 straight rounds last season. I didn't think the guys could top that. Well, ladies and gentlemen, the guys are topping that. They are taking it from here, and they're bringing it. Ooh, yes, right. You can't even see that anymore. It's at that level right now. This championship is going to go down to round 10. No driver is going to walk away with this. You don't want to miss another night. We have 4 more races. 4 more, ladies and gentlemen. We got round 7 at Dragon Trail Seaside. We got round 8 at South Tokyo Inner Loop. We got round 9 at... Drawing a blank. We got round 10 at Kyoto Miyabi. Full course. And what a great way to finish off a season with a 50-minute endurance reverse grid in the final round. So, these drivers think they got it all figured out. These drivers think they're going to be sitting pretty coming into qualifying for round 10. Ding! Reverse grid, you're starting where you're placed in the field. So, strategies change. What's going to happen? We don't know. You guys have to tune in every week to find out. Round 7, next Tuesday, 9:30 p.m. Eastern Time. And we will be live with the live broadcast next week for all you wonderful and amazing viewers and folks and racers alike out there. We appreciate you again. Just one more time, man. Massive shout out to DMJ Vroom Room. These guys are the presenters of the series. They're the ones that are brainchilds behind it, man. They put this thing together. They bring this over to GT45 Gaming. From there, we take it. We put it in the Discord server. We put it on Facebook. We put it on our socials. We open up registration. We get them drivers signed up. We get them drivers in with all their information. They go to town in their paint booths, and bam, we got a series, ladies and gentlemen. So, we got 4 weeks left. Sad, but at the same time exciting, because we got a championship title ready to be handed out. So, can GG Jake repeat? He's right there. He's nipping. He's still got a shot. Sparky Boomman right there tied with him coming into this round. Can he jump for Jake? Jake did finish ahead, and he also got bonus points, so he should have a little bit of a slight lead on Sparky Boomman. We got Badass lurking. We got Ghost Viper Gaming lurking in the standings there as well. LJ is quickly moving up those standings, and we have Spec 1, who did miss a race a couple weeks ago, but with back-to-back wins and back-to-back pole position points, he may have a shot. If he gets another win here in Dragon Trail in round 7, he has put himself right back into the talk for that championship, ladies and gentlemen. So, with that being said, what a great series, what a great race, what a great time tonight. Again, a little bit different, but I enjoyed hanging out with y'all over on YouTube and on Facebook. Vegas Paul's over on the YouTube channel now. He's switching it up, and I can't wait. I really can't wait. Our UK compadres have, I believe, finished their season up as of this week, so they are awaiting to see who our top 7 over in North America is, so that we can have Battle of the Pond, ladies and gentlemen. Second annual Battle of the Pond, and if you guys remember the last one, it was fire. This one's gonna be even better. So definitely stay tuned in and stay tuned to the socials. If you like the video, if you like what's going on over here at DMJ Vroom Vroom and GT45 Gaming, drop a comment below, hit that like, hit that share, definitely hit that follow and subscribe button depending on what channel you're on. YouTube subscribe, Facebook like, and tell all your friends, tell their moms, tell their dads, tell their friends, tell their pets, tell them what we're doing over here. We're having a good time, we're racing for a cause, we're building a community, and we're giving back to charity as much as we can throughout the year. We love you guys, and I can't wait to see you guys next week. DMJ Round 7, Dragon Trail Seaside. Be there, be square, baby. I'm kidding, I play. Peace and love, y'all. Stay winning. Much love to everybody in the chat, and I hope y'all enjoyed the race tonight. I know I did. Again, like I said, I don't get to sit back and watch my own broadcast very often, so it was a treat tonight. And am I still top 7, my guy? You don't know yet. I'm not 100% sure yet, Nolander. We'll have to wait for the standings to get revamped and updated. So should be soon. Everything's sent away. So with that being said, I will post results. Of course, stay tuned for DMJ's website as well, ladies and gentlemen, and the Facebook groups. The standings will be coming soon. And man, what can I say? What a great race! What a great night! We'll see y'all tomorrow. It's been a great presentation by GT45 Gaming, and we're going to kick you off with let's kick you off with a little bit of music, shall we? Music. We love you guys, and see you soon. Come on!